Ever since I started traveling, there's always been these like comments toward Americans. How can you make Trump your president? Americans think they're so better than everyone else. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. The topic today, I really wanted to talk about a while ago, but I feel like because of my school situation that I was in at those times, not just one time, my opinion of Koreans would have been a little bit of bias. But now that I am at a school that I really, really love and I can see myself there for maybe 4, I don't know, maybe 5 years, I don't know. That's a video for the future. I feel like I can actually talk about this topic from a different standpoint where I can see Koreans in a little bit more positive light because I've met Koreans that I think are, first of all, there's always been one Korean, actually 2 Koreans I've known where I really like they my dogs, I really mess with them, they my friends, they my homies. But outside of that, I really haven't branched off into really making Korean friends. So I really don't. There are multiple reasons, and I'm going to get into those multiple reasons. So first, thank you for that person who I had this idea already, but you kind of brought it to the light again. Hey, maybe you should talk about, making friends in Korea. So in this video, I really want to talk about why it can be hard for, Koreans and foreigners really making connection and build friends. And I also want to talk about why it can be hard for 2 foreigners to make friends. There are so many nuances to this, and I'm going to try to get into it without getting into all the little small tidbits. I'm going to get into the major ones. So for anybody that's coming, I am not going to tell you right now to this camera that it is easy to make friends. If you go to any of the Reddit groups, the Facebook groups, any of the groups that are on social media or any type of information sharing platform between people, everyone is going to say it's not easy to really difficult to make solid friends in Korea. So what is the problem? All right, so I first want to start out with why is it hard for foreigners to make other friends with foreigners in Korea? The first thing I'm going to say is it's just simple. There's nothing in common. You have 2 people who come from 2 different places. They may just not have anything in common. There are ways to find some type of common interest, which I'll talk about later in this video. But sometimes you just got to accept that you just don't have nothing in common with that particular person. Probably outside of you work at the same place, if that's where you found the Korean that you want to make a connection with. So maybe you just not the same person. Next, I would say it's age difference. Age difference is very, very important here in Korea amongst Koreans. If you start to befriend Koreans, when you get to know Koreans and they start talking about their friends, one thing that you will see is that a lot of them have similar age. They're in a similar age group. For example, maybe you're at a Hagwon and there's a girl there that's 25. Most of her friends are going to be 24, maybe 23. It's going to be hard to see someone who's 27 hanging out with a 35-year-old. If you are a foreigner here and, you're trying to befriend somebody, you might want to try to figure out how old they are. But if you're 21 and you're working with someone who's 30, work friends, I could see work friends, but outside of that, your chances are dwindling. They're really dwindling. Prioritizing bonds with other Koreans. This is one of the main reasons why a lot of foreigners cannot befriend other foreigners, is because foreigners are just not interested in being friends with other foreigners. They want to, I want to make Korean friends. I want to be friends with Koreans. I want to, practice my Korean. I want to get better at Korean. I want to stay in Korean. I want to go to Korean concerts. That is a thing here in Korea. You'll see a lot of TikToks and, things on Facebook where people will go to these meetups for Koreans and foreigners, and most of the foreigners are not really talking to other foreigners. They're talking to the Koreans. They're just focusing on Koreans. And I don't think there's anything entirely wrong with that. I understand that, but myself, I don't ignore another group of people just because I'm in the land of the native people and I should focus on them, if that makes sense. Did I say that right? I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I could be friends with anyone who knows how to act right. This is a big one. Problems in the workplace. I don't know why. I'm not going to speak for Koreans. I'm not Korean. I don't know. I know there's a whole culture, Korean work culture. I'm not going to speak to that, even though I work in it. But for some reason, the foreigners love to fight between one another at these jobs. And I'll speak for the jobs that I have. I'll just do that. I'll speak for the jobs. Even though I hear about the mess, at other places, it just seems like there's always some sort of problem that just arrives from the smallest place. It'd be like the smallest place. And then it's just, boom, there's just like this big issue. This person's not friends with this person. You said this to me. You did this to me. You talked about this person behind their back. It's just like, we didn't fly 3,000 kilometers, 6,000 miles, however many miles it took to get from whatever country you came from to Korea. Y'all came here to fight? Like, did we really come here to be arguing with each other at a school? Are we supposed to be teaching? Okay. Me, I don't do all that arguing at the school. I don't do all that. I don't do all that. Like, okay, you don't like me? Cool. You ain't gotta like me. I don't care. I don't care. Just don't disrespect me. If you work here, you'll find out. Now this one right here. I'm gonna call this cultural differences, parentheses, xenophobia. I don't know why, since starting this channel, since me traveling around the world, there is such a dislike for Americans. It really is. I don't understand it. Like, dislike the country, whatever, I don't care. But to try to offend, to make comments, it's like, it's more than throwing shade. I ain't saying throwing shade. Like, you throwing rocks, like, and they throwing it directly at the Americans. Ever since I started traveling, there's always been these like comments toward Americans, like always. And it's just like, how can you make Trump your president? Americans think they're so better than everyone else. Americans are so patriotic. You guys have so much gun violence. You guys are shooting up schools. I don't even know why we even get to these topics. I don't even know. Like, it'll just be anything. Like, or it's always, and it always sometimes starts with food too. Like France, what do they call it? Like a biscuit, but we call it a cookie or something like that, or a scone, but it's like switched around. It's just like, oh no, that's a biscuit. Oh no, this is a scone. It'll always be like some argument like that, and then someone will be like, Americans think they're better. They think they know everything. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I do not get it. Like, you can have your opinion about the country. Oh, and don't even get me. It's a trigger. The Africans, even South Africans, you think so low, like they will like attack a Black American. Like, I can't even, for us Black Americans, I think you know what I'm talking about. And for you Africans watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly. I'm not gonna, first of all, I ain't in the battle with nobody. Yeah, I've been around and I've heard these things, and I will say something back, but I'm not in a battle with you. You know, you think less of me, so I got to think less of you. I really don't care. I'd be like, okay, you think whatever you want to think. Like, it doesn't matter. But that is an issue right there. Just the everybody hate America type thing. There's like this hierarchy of countries here in Korea. Like, or this ethnic group is better than this ethnic group. Like that exists here. This is why I stick to like 3 or 4 people. That's it. I don't even want no more friends after that, because it's all a mess. Okay, so why is it hard for Koreans and foreigners to become friends, to make friends, to build those bonds? The first thing I'm going to say is social circles. And what I mean by that is, from my understanding, a lot of Koreans, the friends that they have at age 25, at age 30, most of them are the people that they grew up with. And they stick to those particular social groups. They'll make friends in other pockets, maybe in college or whatever, but this is going to sound bad, but I actually understand it. They kind of stick to their people, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Like, so another aspect is the language barrier. If you don't know the language at all, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to make friends with Koreans that do not know the language. You know, that's going to be extremely hard. If you don't know the language, and not just you not learning the language, if they don't speak English, it's going to be really hard for you to break into their social world. And, it's just what it is. It's just like America too. Like America is mostly what? English and Spanish. If they come there speaking Korean, you're in, I don't know, Popeyes or McDonald's, or even if you're at your local school, your local college, and a Korean walks up because they want to make friends with Americans and they start speaking Korean because they don't know English, like, oh, let's be friends, even though we can't understand each other. The language barrier plays a huge part in creating friends here. Fear of not fitting in. I know here in Korea, like, what people think of them is a major part of their lives. They don't want people to think negatively of them. So, and I understand that. I even someone as confident as I am, I don't care what people think about me, but I do understand that there are people in the world that they do care about their image. Trying to fit inside of a group that they may not know the language to. They don't know the cultural norms, they don't know the jokes. It could possibly create a bad image. I'm going to say this. Koreans that want to be friends with foreigners just to improve their English. And you're probably going to say like, oh, that's a good thing. Like, no, it's not that great. There are a lot of examples where on both sides, it's an okay starting point, but it's not a good reason to be your friend just to have conversations, because you're not really building a bond. The structure of your friendship is so you guys can communicate in one language. And then when the one person gets better, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm not saying that it can't blossom. Some of these relationships, especially at these language exchange groups, they don't go that way. Come here, go to a group. You'll see what I mean. And the last one, and this is a very tough one, dealing with societal pressure. In addition to just like image in Korea, mental health is not really something that is big in Korea, and you have a lot of Koreans struggling. And I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm not Korean. I can't speak for them. I can only speak to what I have learned, things I've heard, things that I have read. People who are possibly struggling mentally, do you really think that they have the mental capacity to build a relationship with someone not from their country? And that may sound like a bad thing, but I'm just being realistic. If I was someone who was like chronically depressed and I hated my job and I was broke, I am not going to try to befriend someone who possibly doesn't know my language, who is possibly older, way older or younger than me, who, I'm be honest, and this one sounds toxic, who's probably having a great life. Do you think I'm really gonna want to hear about that? And I'm broke and I hate my job and you can have somebody really rich and they hate their life. Do you really think they're going to want to be around someone who they're saying like, oh, my life is great, it's rainbows and sunshine? Do you really think that is what they're going to want to be around? They are not going to try to build a connection with someone who is from a different land. The culture is different. The way they eat is different. The way they talk is different. The way they dress is different. I understand that. And I think as foreigners, we need to understand that just because someone doesn't be your friend, that doesn't mean you need to go through a whole smear campaign on who they are. I think it's childish, it's immature. Is there hope? I think there's definitely hope. If you come here, even if you watch this video, if you watch a lot of other videos and you're like, completely discouraged, like, I don't think I'm gonna make friends when I go here, do not be discouraged, because there are a lot of groups here in Korea where you can attempt to build a connection with a Korean or a foreigner. What I would say is, and what a lot of actually the other Facebook groups have said, lean into your hobbies. If you have a hobby that you like, there's like meetups, you can go to Facebook, you can go to Reddit. Facebook will also lead you to Kakao groups, which are like the group chats for the people with hobbies. Also, like if you want to get into the dating world, there are things like Pochas. It's like a bar that you go to, and basically going into this bar, everyone is kind of like open to like mingling with the other people there. You know what I mean? There are women there, there are men there, and basically everyone is approachable. So you can, get a date there, make some friends there. So you have that opportunity. There's alcohol, there's music. So you have that opportunity to, meet someone there. Also, even though I said something about it before, there are the language exchange groups, and at the language exchange groups, you can practice your Korean, they can practice English. It's a good opportunity where you could start to build something. You're talking, you can start to build something which could possibly grow as a friendship or whatever you're looking for. There are even we call them intramural sports. So there are a lot of groups on Facebook. You could just simply type, maybe you're interested in kickball, kickball in South Korea. I would Google search it, actually. And there were groups that'll pop up on Meetup, on Facebook, and Facebook will mostly lead you to a Kakao group where there are people that meet every Saturday or every Sunday, whatever day they choose to play that particular sport. Lastly, I recently just created, because I've been wanting to play spades for a long time. I recently created a group for people that want to play spades. And right now, I've started it in the brothers and sisters group. It's like a Black people in Korea group. And there's a group of 5 of us. One person really doesn't know how to play. I'm still waiting to meet up on that person, but actually it's 6 of us. And we've met twice in 3 days, but we're kind of thinking about doing it a once a month thing that, we meet up, play spades, go out for dinner, and they're cool. They're cool. I ain't really open to friendships. Sorry if y'all see this video. I'm not that easy to befriend. I feel like some people don't know what a friend is. But yeah, so there are opportunities to make friends. I think it's just more of putting yourself out there. All right, well, that is it. I hope this video was helpful, give you a little bit insight. Again, I think it's all about your perspective. If you're someone like me who is just I'm okay. I'm okay with friends. I don't mind making 1 or 2. I think you'll do great if you're someone who is very, very outgoing. You're willing to learn the language, or you're already fluent in the language. I think you'll do great. It's just about putting yourself out there. All right. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing and it really gets the channel a long way. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time in a new video.